Hi virtually BGCMC, I'm Miss Christina, and today I'm going to take you through a 5 senses guided meditation. So we've really been focusing on strengthening our imagination, our creativity, and so this is an exercise where you're allowed to get as comfy as you want. You can roll out a yoga mat if you have one and lay crisscross applesauce and close your eyes, or you could just lay down a towel maybe, or a blanket, or just in your favorite spot. Get as comfortable as possible. Make sure that you are relaxed. So in order to identify if we're holding any tension, just like we kind of do on our warm-ups, just make sure your shoulders are at ease. Make sure your tongue isn't sticking to the roof of your mouth, because that can create tension in here. And if you even want to just massage your jaw a little bit, or run your hands down the sides of your neck, because we do hold tension right down here. I know I do. So just make sure that you are as comfortable as possible and as relaxed as possible, and we'll start our 5 senses guided meditation. I'm sure you know of the 5 senses already. There's taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing. And the reason that we're gonna focus on these for an acting or a dramatic exercise is to be able to strengthen our imagination and our creative abilities some more, and just be able to put yourself in a situation that's not actually happening right now, but by creating that scenario in your mind, you're creating your own ideas and your own version of events, and you'll be able to take those discoveries with you into creating a character or into a scene. All right, so if you're in your comfy position and you're seated or you're laying down, doesn't matter to me, whatever is most comfortable for you, we're gonna go ahead and start with taste. So with your eyes closed, and again, your body is as relaxed as possible, I want you to imagine tasting your favorite candy. Is it a chocolate bar? Is it a lollipop? Is it something you had when you were growing up that brings back some memories? Maybe it's a little bit nostalgic. And just see what that tastes like with your eyes closed. And now, your favorite candy is going to turn into a sour lemon. Like you just took a big bite out of a half of a lemon. Oh my gosh. I hope you're not doing that normally. For this exercise, oh my gosh, that tart, sour taste of the lemon. Oh my gosh, just even guiding you guys in it makes my lips pucker, just like my tongue has that sour taste on it already. What does that taste like to you? I bet it's not pleasant, or maybe you like it. Who knows? It's all your interpretation. So taste the sour lemon. Oh my gosh, did you get some seeds by accident? Ooh, 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 okay. You have that, and then the lemon is fading away, thank God. But in its place is spinach. Oh my gosh, is it raw spinach? Is it cooked spinach? Do you like spinach? What does the texture feel like in your mouth? Imagine that texture. Is it pleasant, unpleasant? Ooh, would you rather be eating anything else right now but spinach? What does that feel like? Taste that. Does it bring you back to any kind of memories? If so, hold on to that. Experience that in your imagination. What does that make you feel? Ooh, spinach. And if you like spinach, then this is great. Okay, and the spinach is fading away, and we're going to move on to touch. So moving on from taste, now we're going to be experiencing touching things in our imagination. I want you to pretend to touch soft, freshly laid out snow. It just snowed overnight. It's untouched, so it's serene and still and really cold, but you can hold it in your hand and kind of pack it into a snowball. What does that feel like? Would you rather be wearing gloves right now? Is it almost so cold that you have to like take your finger off of it and maybe wipe the snow away? How soft is it? Does it feel wet in your hand? Can you pack it really tight into a snowball? Or maybe you just wanna feel it in your hand and then have it melt away. Touch snow. fresh snow in your hands. And maybe it brings back a memory. Hold on to that. And then I want you to let the snow go away. And now you're going to touch a hot stove by accident. Absolutely by accident. Oh my gosh, you accidentally touched a hot stove and it is burning. It is the opposite of the cold snow. And maybe you're like me right now, you're imagining yourself, ooh, just like shaking out your hands and it burns, and it was really, really quick and it's already fleeting away, but you can still feel, ooh, just like the hot sensation on the very, very tips of your fingertips. Oh my gosh, never doing that again. Total mistake, but it still makes you feel just like, dang it, an accident, hot stove, not very pleasant. Okay, keep that in mind, that tingling maybe sensation you have in your fingertips. What does that feel like? How does it make you feel? Hold on to that, and it's gonna go away. It's fading away, the hot sensation in your fingertips. Phew, it's gone. And then I want you to imagine touching dog's fur. Maybe you have a dog. Maybe if you don't have a dog, just imagine like the fluffiest, like happiest dog you've ever seen. It's in your lap, or it's jumping up next to you, and you're petting it, and it's just the softest fur you have ever felt. And dog's fur travels. I know dog's fur travels, so maybe you're even like collecting fur as you pet the dog, and now it's all over your hands. Do you have to like shake them out again? Oh, but it's like comforting to pet a dog, you know? It makes me feel happy to pet a dog, and it's relaxing. It makes you feel warm inside maybe, or maybe it doesn't. Not everybody likes dogs. Maybe it makes you feel a different way, and that's welcome, and that's okay too. What does it feel like to pet this dog? Is it that curly kind of hair, or is it that really like fluffy kind of hair? Or should I say fur, a dog's fur? So keep that in mind, keep that feeling in mind, and you're going to let that float away. Moving on from touch, we're going to get into hearing. All right, moving on to our third sense is going to be utilizing our hearing. We are going to pretend that we're in a forest, and there are these huge trees. Just like you look up and it looks like they go on forever. So just picture that in your head for a little bit. Walking through the forest, and all of a sudden a huge gust of wind comes, and you can hear it through the trees, and you even let it affect you a little bit. It is windy now, and it's making a certain sound through the trees and through the leaves. And now the whole forest kind of has like a song going on because of how windy it is. What do you hear? You, not me. I'm just kind of explaining what I think of. But you could be thinking something completely different, and that's okay. That's great even. What does just a windy forest feel like to you, and what do you hear? So imagine that a little bit. Maybe you've experienced this before. Maybe your version of a forest isn't the same version of my forest. Maybe you don't see pine trees. Maybe you see something completely different. Either way, it's really windy, and it's making that whistly sound right past your ears. Ooh. Okay. We're gonna let the forest and the windy trees go away. And now we're going to pretend that we are at a soccer game, and you're one of the players, and you are tired, and you're darting back and forth between two ends of the field. You are kicking the ball around, and you can hear the audience cheering so loud. And then all of a sudden, you hear sharp whistle right in your ear. Ooh, does it startle you? Does it kind of like make you stop and think, okay, I need to refocus? So the high pitch of the whistle just hit your ear. Ooh, and it's ringing in your ear, and it may have startled you, and you're thinking, okay, I need to refocus, and maybe your head is ringing a little bit. What does a high-pitched whistle right in your ear feel like? It's gonna make you, I don't know, jump a little bit, you know? You weren't expecting it, so it's caught you off guard, and it was loud and it was right in your ear. So what does that feel like? You still kind of maybe even hear the audience shouting in the background, but now that's almost toned down a little bit because like you're still reeling from the whistle. And what does that feel like? And then I'm gonna make the soccer game go away. And now you just jumped in a pool on a hot summer day and you are underwater. And it's that moment from when you do the cannonball or the dive right into the water, and the moment between coming back up for air and when you hit the water, and everything you hear is kind of like muffled under the water, like bubbles, or you can hear the people you're with who are not in the water, maybe standing on the outside of the pool. You can hear them talking, but it's kind of distorted. What does being underwater sound like? I know to me it feels distinct, but what does it sound like to you? Almost like you're in another world, you know? It's not natural for you to hear like that. What do you hear? Like I was saying, bubbles, muffled sounds. How does it make you feel to be underwater? Think about that a little bit. And you can let the swimming pool go. And that was our third sense. And now we're going to move on to our fourth sense, which is sight. So still with your eyes closed, even though we're doing sight, I hope that you're so comfortable. I hope you're able to transition from scenario to scenario very easily. We're gonna focus on seeing a sun setting over the ocean. Maybe you have a distinct memory of this in your own life. Maybe you've sat out on the beach until the sun's about to go down and it just makes that beautiful color in the sky. Like reds and yellows and oranges, maybe even a little bit of pink or purple. And the water is sparkling almost. And it's not really bright out, but it's not dark yet either. Can you see the sun setting over the ocean in your mind? Okay. My phone has been cutting me off because of storage reasons. Okay. So, can you see the sun setting over the ocean with the beautiful, beautiful sunset? And how does that make you feel? Have you ever been there before? Or do you want to experience that someday? You can also have that feeling as well. Does it make you feel happy? Maybe a little nostalgic? Notice that. Keep that with you for a little bit. And then we're gonna move on to seeing the tiniest little ant on the sidewalk. Maybe it's a hot summer day, you've been playing outside, and you're taking a moment to sit on the curb and look at the pavement, and you see just the smallest little ant trudging along down the sidewalk. It's so, so, so small. Where's it going? Is it on its way to see its family, its friends, the rest of the ants? Is it carrying anything with it? I've seen ants carry some heavy things, surprisingly. So have you ever had a moment like that? Maybe you're picturing that in your head. Could have been yesterday even, or could have been years ago. Picture that little ant. How small is it really? Compared to you too, on the sidewalk, going about its day. And have that in your imagination. Try and picture it really, really clearly. Every little detail, if you can. And then you can let that go. And that was sight. So we're gonna move on to our fifth and final sense, which is smell. All right, so smell, still with your eyes closed in your comfortable seated or laying down position. I want you to imagine the smell of freshly baked cookies. I'm picturing chocolate chip because that's my favorite, but whatever is your favorite, oatmeal, macadamia nut, snickerdoodle, gingerbread, just your whole house smells like freshly baked cookies. Maybe it's around the holidays or a special event is happening and someone's been in the kitchen all day making cookies. And any room you walk into. It just smells like decadent, really delicious. Like you can't wait until they're gonna come out of the oven because you want one now. And then they're the best when you pull them apart and they're still warm on the inside. It's very specific for me, so I hope you're imagining it in great, great detail. You can even do a breath in if you want. Just the smell of freshly baked cookies. Yum. But unfortunately, the cookies have to fade away now from your imagination. And in its place, you're going to smell perfume. And everybody has their own interpretation of a scent that reminds them of perfume. Maybe it's when you're walking through the store with your parents, maybe a big department store from the mall. You know, they spray so many different perfumes in there. And it's just a concoction of floral scents, sweet scents, maybe a more woodsy scent, maybe a family member or a loved one. Every time you see them, they always smell like this one perfume. And you can smell it when you think really hard about it. You can actually feel it hitting your nose. What does that make you feel like? It can be personal and specific, but it could also just be completely made up right now. So, smell perfume and think about how that makes you feel. And then we're going to move on to smelling a skunk. Oh my gosh, it's so smelly. It just sprayed you. Oh my God, now you don't know what to do, but it just smells so bad. Oh my gosh. Gross. I can't believe I just got sprayed by a skunk. Ugh, does it do anything to your face? Are you having a different facial expression? Have you ever been sprayed by a skunk? I haven't, thank gosh. But oh my gosh, it's just doing all sorts of things to my face already, just imagining it. Can you see the skunk clearly in your mind? And then as you smell, oh my gosh, are you just like repulsed immediately? And if you are, then it's working. Then you're really in the moment and you're really experiencing that. And so I don't want to leave you with a skunk smell. So we're gonna let the skunk smell fade. Phew, that was a close one. And now I want you to imagine it's the first day of school and you're walking through your hall and you haven't met your teacher yet. You haven't met any friends yet. Or even if you don't go to school in person, just imagine it's the first day of school and you're waking up and in your own home. Whatever the first day of school feels like to you. And you're gonna breathe in some air. Does it smell kind of like a feeling, like brand new paper or completely untouched pencils? Does it smell kind of like summer in the air is fading away and fall is coming into place? Does it make you remember a certain time? Doesn't have to be necessarily a strong scent to be able to elicit kind of like a feeling or a memory. So the first day of school, what do you smell? And I want to end with that one because maybe it's something interesting. And so I want to hear from you guys what you thought of this exercise. You can let that go away and open your eyes. Were you able to use your imagination? Were you able to feel creative? And did this meditation make you think of instances in your own mind of these scenarios? Or maybe something similar to it, but not exact. But that means that it was personal for you, which is what we want to do. We want to be able to create these images in our mind, to be able to use these things on stage or as our characters and remember back and then be able to feel in the moment how that made you feel. So if your character is having a rough time or something like that, maybe if you just like go back into your memory and you imagine in your head something that was rough for you, you can be able to pull from that and use it on stage. And then that makes your facial expressions match your character's emotions, your body language match your character's emotions. Everything is coming into play all at once to be able to give you the most authentic and organic performance possible. So that was our 5 senses guided meditation. And feel free to try this at home or even do it with each other. One person can be the guiding kind of speaker like I was doing, and one person can be the meditator, if you will. So have fun and let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching today.